We got the call on our way home that something was wrong. When we got here, we saw that the entire house was engulfed in flames. Just sitting there and looking at basically your whole life investment going up in flames. It did take a toll on us as a family. Once we decided to rebuild, the thought came up to use the Housing Authority of Grenada. After they sent in their quotation, which we thought was very, very reasonable, we decided to go with Housing Authority of Grenada. They were very helpful. They visited the site weekly. The staff was very professional. The contractor was very professional. They delivered our house on time. The quality of work was amazing. And as you can see today, we are not disappointed. I would definitely recommend Housing Authority of Grenada for all your construction needs. With their affordable costs, high level of customer service, guidance, and building expertise, they will help you as they help us.
Diamond Intercontinental Jewelry Store now has amazing deals, special discounted prices on wedding sets, watches and selected jewelry. We sell top brand jewelry and watches like Citizen, Guess and Klein and G-Shock, all at the best prices in Grenada. We also buy scrap gold and offer the best deals and customer service on the island. Opening hours Mondays to Saturdays 9:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Diamond Intercontinental Jewelry Store, located at the Esplanade Mall, St. George's, Grenada. Visit our brand new remodeled store or call us on telephone number 414-3114, 232-1234 or WhatsApp 533-1581. Sale is on for a limited time only.
Do you need to get one of these tests done at an affordable price? Well, look no further. Visit Allied Laboratories by Fit for Life today. We offer VDRL, CBC, ANA, rheumatoid factor, D-dimer, TROP1, HbA1c, PTINR, and PTT. Call one of our branches today, conveniently located at Grenville and Granats, and one of our staff members will be happy to assist. Please note that there are over 200 tests available, and these are only a few. So call today and book your appointment.
Fuel your dreams with a communal vehicle loan. It's a huge deal with super awesome rates and discounts. Get the vehicle that's just for you. Enjoy your journey. Make memories. Explore more. We're fueling dreams to your destination. It's a huge deal and it's just for you. Your destination, and we'll take you there. Call or message us on WhatsApp 405-6670 or 405-2248. Let's get you where you have to be with Communal and Friends. This special promotion is in collaboration with The Beacon Insurance, Netherlands Insurance, Greens Automotive, RF Motors, and Specialized Automotive. We're fueling dreams to your destination. Apply today. Lending terms and conditions apply.
Oh yeah, and we'd like to officially welcome one and all again to another Mikey Live program. I am your host, Mikey Hutchinson, and yes, we are coming live to you from the Spice Isle of the Caribbean, that is Grenada. We've got it all. We're talking about the sand, the sea, and the sun. It is a pleasure to be with you every night, telling you what's happening in and around Grenada. Today we have a few things to tell you about. I know that again, we are kind of like we're asking you to split your attention tonight for, I think it's the final night for now, and then we have a couple other nights that we're going to be live again at some of the shows, all right? So let's keep it nice and smooth for tonight. We're not going to stay too long. Fuel cap to remain, according to the Prime Minister, but not indefinitely. In other words, it is probably not something that you can expect to happen for the rest of your life, you know what I mean? So we're going to talk about that. The Media Workers Association of Grenada, they have a statement relating to the whole issue of incompetence at the GIS based on an article that was written and then statements that were made by the paper again tonight, the paper last evening. PM hints at replacing the Marketing and National Importing Board. We are going to talk about that in a while. And Grenada monitoring the third suspected case of monkeypox. There is no known case of the disease in Grenada. However, That's part of their routine policy and so on. They're doing checks and so on. As part of the policy, they're doing routine checks and so on. We'll talk to you more about that in a moment. No, we are also hearing from the Ministry of Health, in fact, the Chief Medical Officer, relating to the same issue of monkeypox, making it known that there are no confirmed cases of the monkeypox in Grenada. And the government say that they are moving to adjust payment system for public workers. All right, I see that we have an error there in the headline, but that's okay, we'll fix that. Okay, so these are some of the things that we'll be talking about tonight. Of course, it is what we call news discussed, not told. So people, brace all yourself, it could be nice. Yes, someone sharing tonight's program will receive some free credits, compliments, Digicel. And of course, we would like to remind you that the headlines was brought to you through the kind compliment of Quotes, Grenada Limited, Digicel, NAWASA, the Housing Authority of Grenada, Real Value, IGA Supermarket. Of course, we've got superb distributors online as well. So folks, when we come back, it will be real news in Olio Lily Lolo. So brace all yourself and think, we are coming back. And again, we're not staying too long tonight. We'll be back.
Hey man, when we come online, you only juking up your phone.
Yeah boy, now what I say, they have an app. I can't find it. I check Play Store. I do a Google search. I can't find it. Man, I get fed up, man.
Nah man, because you look in the wrong place. The app is web-based.
Web-based?
Yes, you access it via your web browser, right? You can add it to your home screen or your desktop, like any regular app. Watch. Look, I have it on my phone, right? And you can access it or add it to any device, your computer, your tablet, any device.
Well, how are doing that and I can't find it?
Okay, watch. All you have to do is open your browser, right? And type mobile.nawasa.gd. And voila, you see?
Hey, just so?
Yes, and you can download it or access it via the web. Once you have a reliable internet connection, right, you can run the app anywhere, anytime.
So, how I adding that to my home screen?
Right, so you click on those three dots, right, or your web browser setting, and look for the option to install app or add to home screen. Easy peasy.
Well, thank you. Now I could help Auntie June because she was having the same problem too.
The Nawasa app, versatile, fast-paced, and always up to date because it's web-based. So Auntie Joan won't always have to install update. Once a change is made to the app, it updates automatically, no hassle.
Well, that's a good thing.
Mobile.nawasa.gd, your customer support companion.
Affordable quality products delivered to you via superb service. We are Superb Distributors, wholesalers and authorized agents for trusted products you know and love, like Rika Juices, Pure Heaven products, Bibbin diapers, New Bright laundry detergent, Allegra pasta, and more.
Contact Superb Distributors at 435-2948 for superb quality and service.
I want you to control your anger. There's a way to feel better. That's one thing to remember. No matter where you are, you can be a star. Stop and take a deep breath and relax yourself. Take another deep breath and relax it, and relax it. Eliminate violence.
Alrighty, and again, we'd like to officially say welcome to one and all the first-time viewers. Welcome to you, and the usual suspects. Hello. The Rotary Club of Grenada, the RCG, recently inducted Mr. Juan Bailey as its club president for the 2022 to 2023 Rotary year. Juan first joined the Rotary briefly in 2010 and we joined the RCG in 2017. He has a passion, they say, for working on community projects because he believes that we can all contribute positively to society as a whole. Juan has been an active Rotarian and served as the club's secretary before being elected president. All right, anyone they say who knows him would agree that he genuinely enjoys the fellowship and camaraderie that the Rotary provides. All right, so it is just recognizing the new president and saying congratulations to him and the new team. All right. All right. So we are moving on. Earlier, the next thing that we have to tell you about, boy, the latest report by the Ministry of Health shows that the population of fully vaccinated individuals regarding to COVID-19 has grown by 0.1%. Now, the report indicates that the fully vaccinated population now stands at 34.2%, and that's accounting for 38,653 individuals receiving their full doses. All right, for those who have to get the 2 dose or the 1 dose. Right, so once they're fully vaccinated, then they're added. All right. Now, the partially vaccinated population stands at that would be 5,180, accounting for just about 4.6% of the population. All right. To date, 6,970 booster doses have been administered. Of the latest report that we received, we saw that there were 161 tests that were conducted. 16 persons turned out to be positive, and that's a positivity rate of about 9.9%. Okay? Earlier, last night, y'all heard from the Grenada today, the New Today. Today. So first you heard from the New Today, then you heard from the Public Workers Union, then you heard from the New Today again, and now you're hearing from the Media Workers Association of Grenada. All right, it says here that the Media Workers Association of Grenada, in its quest for the truth and its belief that the pen is indeed always mightier, reached out to former Information Minister MNIB following the potentially libelous back-page article in the New Today newspaper published July 15th, 2022, which was headlined Incompetence of the GIS at the GIS. Now, MWAG felt it necessary, they say, to strictly follow the ethics and proper journalistic practices before officially responding to the emotionally damaging article, which has left members of the media fraternity reeling, and its government information government information service GIS family distraught. Now, former Information Minister MNIB, when contacted by MWAG, said, quote, "I have no knowledge of what is referred to there," after a copy of the article as well as the subsequent response by the New Today newspaper were forwarded to her. Now, the spite efforts, they say, by MWAG and the Public Workers Union, who represents the workers at GIS, to discredit the article as baseless and irresponsible, noting the damage it has caused to the credibility of the GIS staff and their reputation. The New Today has chosen instead to hit back at both organizations. Mrs. Pierre, in her discourse with MWAG, noted that she has never had any negative reports concerning the 2 employees mentioned in the New Today article during her time as Minister for Information. Now, he goes on to say that MWAG is appalled by the recent journalistic display from one of the leading newspapers in Grenada and condemns any such actions, whether in the past or present. MWAG welcomes, they say, the government's response that the article does not reflect the view of the current government. MWAG also welcomes government's focus to train and further improve the staff at the GIS, which will positively reflect on the media fraternity in Grenada. He goes on to say that the executive of the Media Workers Association, as well as the wider membership, stand in solidarity with our colleagues at the Government Information Service, recognizing the major role they play in keeping the public abreast of all that is happening during the COVID-19 pandemic, while putting themselves and their families at risk in the face of the deadly disease. MWAG understands also that colleagues at the GIS have been facing undue backlash due to the heated election campaign and the subsequent results. While the association does not condone media personnel publicly showing favor to a political party, though respecting their right to affiliation under the Constitution of Grenada, MWAG was shocked to learn that a member of the GIS team was physically assaulted following the election results and celebrations. Such actions cannot be allowed to or left unchecked in a democratic society. Thus, MWAG is calling on the relevant authorities to ensure calm within the country. Okay. Right. So that's from MWAG now. So you have officially now heard from the Media Workers Association relating to that business. All right. And I wanted to read it in its entirety. I know paraphrasing nothing. I really let people think, as I have done for the other side. You understand? Fair, balance, good. We're moving on. Today there was another post-cabinet press briefing, and again the Prime Minister was present. Now a host of topics were covered. One such topic was the Marketing and National Importing Board. Prime Minister says that the MNIB have been faced with a lot of controversy, lawsuits and accusation of corruption and so on, and it's been sucking from the government coffers for some time now. And it says, do not be surprised if sooner rather than later you hear that the board, the MNIB, is squashed, totally put to rest, and something new replaces it.
The Marketing and National Importing Board, if you aren't aware, I think most persons are aware that that entity has, perhaps for as much as the last 20 years, been one problem child or another. It is hemorrhaging money. My initial brief from the PS in the Ministry of Finance suggests that it is losing as much as in excess of $1 million a month. There have been significant issues in the recent past pertaining to mismanagement, corruption, all kinds of things. You may be aware the Integrity Commission has also had to investigate the comings and goings at the Marketing and National Importing Board. And crucially, I don't think you will find a farmer or any agro-processor in Grenada who holds the Marketing and National Importing Board or who views it positively. And so we are going to have to take critical measures swiftly to address that. Hence the need to have the board put in place so we can take control of the situation and so that we can have firm recommendations as to how we go forward. I want to be very clear that based on my preliminary briefing as it pertains to the Marketing and National Importing Board, we may have to seriously consider ending the life of the Marketing and National Importing Board and reconstituting either a new entity or an entity that really was meant to carry out the mandate of the Marketing and National Importing Board. So I'm saying this early because it may not, or so that it does not come as a surprise if we find ourselves there sooner rather than later. But we are here to take decisions. Sometimes you're going to have to take hard decisions. We simply cannot continue kicking the football down the road and expect that you can always come to the government for bailout after bailout after bailout with no turnaround in the fortunes of the entity, with no real plan to achieve the things that Marketing and National Importing Board was meant to do, which is really to, in my view and in our government's view, to assist producers in Grenada with finding markets for their produce within and outside of Grenada, not to engage really in retailing. And that has not been happening. And not only has it not been happening, the entity itself has been sucking significant resources out of the state to repay loans that MNIB has taken to pay basic operating costs, and that can't continue for much longer. So I hope I've answered the two questions.
Thank you very much. So that's on that topic. Now, he also spoke about the government moving to adjust the payment system for public workers. Now, it's not going to happen overnight, but he says that they're looking at a time frame in which that can happen. They have put a technical team in place so as to look at how possible that is, what are the implications, and so on. Here comes the Prime Minister again.
The technical team at the Ministry of Finance has begun looking at that issue. We are also going to ask the Attorney General's Chambers and the Ministry of Legal Affairs to also join that team to look at that issue. The very preliminary response from the technical team is that we believe that we can achieve putting this in place in the next 6 to 8 months. I want to say that from a legal framework, what we are hoping to do is to ensure that there's flexibility in the labor market, while at the same time setting out minimum standards. The minimum standard obviously will be to ensure that no employee works for beyond a month or 30 days without being paid. But we want within that 30-day period to provide, particularly to the private sector, flexibility where employees can continue to be paid daily, weekly, bi-monthly or monthly as the case may be. So we certainly want to give employers and employees the option of these choices, because we think the flexibility would be required to ensure that we do not in any way stymie economic growth and development, and we encourage flexibility within the labor market. But from a government perspective, we want to be able to move the time frame by which government employees are paid from monthly to bi-monthly, because as we indicated, we certainly think that will help employees in particular with cash flow and managing their financial affairs. So we are looking forward to being in a position to implement this within a 6 to 8 month period, while at the same time guaranteeing that there are minimum standards in terms of length of time within which an employee must be paid, while at the same time providing flexibility for particularly the private sector.
Thank you very much, Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell. Another very important topic was one that I've been telling you about, where a lot of people have been asking questions relating to the cap on fuel, whether or not that continues under the new administration. Well, I do not have to say much. The Prime Minister explained what their plan is when it comes to fuel, the cost of fuel, and how that affects the consumers, and how does the government intervene.
In relation to the cap on fuel, the cap on fuel remains currently. This is something we have to pay attention to, so we will be monitoring it and reviewing it monthly. We've taken no policy decision at this point in time to remove it. It remains in place, but clearly by having a cap in relation to fuel, it means the government is losing revenue. So there's no doubt that it is a temporary measure, and it's not something that could remain indefinitely. What we are seeking to do is recognizing that we are living in a very difficult time. You've had all of the challenges posed by COVID-19. You've had significant downturn, in the economy. We are trying to rebound. We've had significant rises in the cost of living. There's significant logistic and transportation issues. The war between Russia and Ukraine have exacerbated economic conditions worldwide. And so we recognize that ultimately, if the cap is removed, it means the cost of fuel is going to go up. And the cost of fuel is perhaps one of the most important items in determining the overall cost of living. And so from our perspective, we want to do everything we can within reason and within a sustainable period that will lessen the impact of the continued rise in the cost of living on our citizens.
All right, so that's where it comes to the fuel, the cost of fuel, and the cap. And so the Prime Minister is saying that, yes, they understand the importance of that and will do what they can where that is concerned, but that is not to give the expectation that it will be done indefinitely. We are moving on. Now, the next thing that we have to tell you about, Grenada is monitoring its third suspected case of the monkeypox, and that was disclosed at today's post-cabinet press briefing by the Minister for Health, and that is Honorable Lacrette. All right, Jonathan Lacrette. Now he's saying that yes, there were 2 cases that were being monitored before, and those cases were cleared. There's a third in the system, and they have sent the sample, and they are hoping that that turns negative as well.
So at the moment, there are no other suspected cases. I believe that we're waiting on one other sample to return from CAFA, and we are trusting that that sample returns negative as well. But the 2 suspected cases, as you correctly stated, return negative, and we are grateful about that. At this particular point in time, no, the individual is being monitored, but the individual is not in isolation.
All right, thank you very much. And he was responding to a question that was asked to him as to whether or not there is in fact a third person that was being monitored and whether or not that individual is in isolation. Now, we did tell you via one of our bulletins that we will tell you more about this. Now, we can confirm that there are no confirmed cases of monkeypox in Grenada. All right. Now, according to the Grenada's Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Sean Charles, he says that there are no confirmed cases of the monkeypox in Grenada at present. The CMO is seeking to clear the air on what he says is misinformation on social media following a government post-cabinet media briefing earlier today. Now, according to Dr. Charles, out of abundance of caution, all right, and proactiveness, the Ministry of Health, Wellness and Religious Affairs, as per standard public health procedures and protocols, has been randomly collecting and testing samples for the last 4 to 5 weeks. It says, we have been doing so of persons who presented with lesions and different kinds of rash that could appear as monkeypox. And this is no different. It says that Dr. Charles, an epidemiologist, by training, he told the Government Information Service today that it is very important to understand that there are many diseases that can cause a similar rash and appear as monkeypox, such as the chickenpox and the impetigo. I've never heard about that one. And because we know that monkeypox is present in our region, the ministry continues to be vigilant and test individuals who seek care, simply because we do not want to miss it. And it is because of our proactive approach, anyone presenting at our clinics with fever or rash, we take samples and we test. That's according to the Chief Medical Officer. Now, the CMO also reassured the public that, as per usual, all people suspected of monkeypox are isolated. It says, as per our protocol, if an individual has only a mild disease and does not need admission, they can be isolated at home. So, a person does not necessarily have to be in state isolation, meaning in government isolation, he explained. Now, he assured Grenadians that the Ministry of Health, Wellness and Religious Affairs continue to pay very close attention to the global and regional outbreak of monkeypox. From the time the global threat emerged, the ministry moved swiftly into action by taking several very important steps, including public education and sensitization, information sharing with public health professionals who are responsible for public health management, health promotion, and regional collaboration with the Caribbean Public Health Agency, CAFA. Now, the Ministry of Health, Wellness and Religious Affairs appeals to the public to refrain from sharing inaccurate information, adding that this type of behavior can cause unnecessary public anxiety. And that is why, of course, we always tell all you, come into Mikey Live. That's where all of us get, reliable and accurate information. Some people, they just pick up things and run with it and skew facts and try to add information and things. When you don't have it, just leave it to the people who knows how to handle information. Look at all the Mikey Live. All the way moving on. How are we looking for time? All right. So then the next thing that we have to tell you, if we could just kind of deviate a little, because I see that we're running out of time. Tomorrow, God's willing, we will have some additional info for you relating to some other things that we are looking at. All right, there were some other things that were mentioned in today's post-cabinet briefing that we would also like to share with you. For example, the Prime Minister today talked about the planning unit. because a lot of people have complained about the planning unit, to be quite honest. Yeah, and so he says that he's very aware of that, and they are looking to change that. You understand? He says that they've been having just too many complaints relating to the speed of which people get their plans approved and stuff like that. It just takes too long, and during that time, so many things can change, like the price of material and so many other things. So it is saying that that's one of the things that they're looking towards as well. All right, so audio, let me take a quick break and come back. And when we come back, we've got for you the national report, and we also have the weather. All right, so I see we have some, again, every night, like, we're getting new followers. So we would like to say hello again to some of the new followers. And the bin is, hey, Dale, what go on? Dale, you share the program already, or? Eh? We have 2 Dales. So Dale and Dale, y'all share the program already, or? All right, blessing. So I see Delian share the business. All right, I see Delian share 100 times, maybe. I see Lintana shared, and Angel and Lynette and so blessings to Nikisha and all the others there, and Shaquille, Shireen and Cecilia and Lucy and Nikisha, Java and Bermuda. Blessings to all you. I'll just call a few random names of persons who I've seen shared. Let me take a quick break now, people, and I'm coming back. And when I come back, we're going to have more thing for all you, man. Well, the national report where you hear a lot of the government information, and then we've got the weather as well. We'll be back.
We got the call on our way home that something was wrong. When we got here, we saw that the entire house was engulfed in flames. Just sitting there and looking at you, basically your whole life investment going up in flames. It did take a toll on us as a family. Once we decided to rebuild, the thought came up to use the Housing Authority of Grenada. After they sent in their quotation, which we thought was very, very reasonable, we decided to go with Housing Authority of Grenada. They were very helpful. They visited the site weekly. The staff was very professional. The contractor was very professional. They delivered our house on time. The quality of work was amazing. And as you can see today, we are not disappointed. I would definitely recommend Housing Authority of Grenada for all your construction needs. With their affordable costs, high level of customer service, guidance, and building expertise, they will help you as they help us.
Diamond Intercontinental Jewelry Store now has amazing deals, special discounted prices on wedding sets, watches, and selected jewelry. We sell top brand jewelry and watches like Citizen, Guess, and Klein, and G-Shock, all at the best prices in Grenada. We also buy scrap gold and offer the best deals and customer service on the island. Opening hours Mondays to Saturdays, 9:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Diamond Intercontinental Jewelry Store, located at the Esplanade Mall, St. George's, Grenada. Visit our brand new remodeled store or call us on telephone number 414-3114, 232-1234 or WhatsApp 533-1581. Sale is on for a limited time only.
Fuel your dreams with a communal vehicle loan. It's a huge deal with super awesome rates and discounts. Get the vehicle that's just for you. Enjoy your journey. Make memories. Explore more. We're fueling dreams to your destination. It's a huge deal and it's just for you. Your destination, and we'll take you there. Call or message us on WhatsApp 405-6670 or 405-2248. Let's get you where you have to be with Communal and Friends. This special promotion is in collaboration with The Beacon Insurance, Netherlands Insurance, Greens Automotive, RF Motors, and Specialized Automotive. We're fueling dreams to your destination. Apply today. Lending terms and conditions apply.
Affordable quality products delivered to you via Superb Service. We are Superb Distributors, wholesalers and authorized agents for trusted products you know and love, like Rika Juices, Pure Heaven products, Bibbin diapers, New Bright laundry detergent, Allegra pasta, and more.
Contact Superb Distributors at 435-2948 for superb quality and service.
I want you to control your anger. to feel better. That's one thing to remember. No matter where you are, you can be a star. Stop and take a deep breath and relax yourself. Take another deep breath and relax it, and relax it. Eliminate violence.
Spice Mass is back! And Grenada Distillers Limited wants you to win big with its bottleneck promotion. With every purchase of pure white or special dark, you are automatically entered for a chance to win. Win tickets to Soca Mona. Win free costumes. Win bottles of Clark Scott Rum, Grenada's #1. Win cold hard cash and more. Simply write your name, address, and contact details at the back of this bottleneck and insert in the boxes at participating outlets and the Clark Scott sales vans. Win big for Spice Mass with Clark Scott, Grenada's #1 rum.
Welcome to Yogo. Most of you know us for our food delivery service and our food pass for free delivery from restaurants. But did you know you can also use us for grocery deliveries too? We've just added another 5,000 plus new items to Yogo Supermarket. And stay updated as we add more products and vendors. Yogo Services is our convenient skip the line offering. Let us pay your electric, water, and other utility bills for you. With us, you will be able to buy tickets, pay your rent, schedule bookings, and other services. Need a ride to get somewhere? Give Yogo Lyft a try. Select your pickup location and destination location and wait for our driver to collect you. Never have to worry about how you're gonna get to a place again. Please see website or app for our service locations. And sign up now.
Prime Minister Honorable Deacon Mitchell says his administration has not appointed any diplomat since assuming office. We'll have details to this story and more in the national report. With the details to the news for Tuesday, July 19th, 2022, I am Chrisanne Mitchell. Prime Minister Honorable Deacon Mitchell says no diplomat has been appointed by his administration since it assumed office in June 2022. An article published in a Nigerian newspaper stated that as of July 11, 2022, Grenada appointed Tochil Naiweri as its first ambassador at large. Prime Minister Mitchell said no such move has been made and Cabinet has made the necessary approval to recall all diplomatic appointees. During the government's weekly post-cabinet press briefing on Tuesday, he said government has already received letters of resignation from some diplomats.
Our government has not appointed any ambassador at large, any honorary consul. We have made no diplomatic appointments. I indicated at the swearing-in ceremony of the ministers of cabinet that we were recalling all diplomatic appointees. Cabinet has since passed the necessary approval to do so, and the Ministry of Finance is working through the necessary administrative requirements of recalling whether they're ambassadors at large, trade consulars, honorary consuls, and whatever respective titles they may go on. Some of the diplomats have in fact, even without us doing so, I think those who properly understand diplomatic protocol have generally been coming in and returning home. So I haven't actually seen the story that was circulated yesterday. I was told about it. But to be clear, we have not appointed anyone. And to the contrary, we've indicated that we are recalling and are in the process of recalling everyone. So that's the most I can say. I don't know the basis or the genesis for the story. If there were appointments that were made by the prior administration, the same applies. Whether they were made 2 or 3 years ago or whether they were made 6 days before the elections, the same applies. We are recalling everyone.
The Prime Minister said he met Tochil Naiweri during a courtesy call last week and he was not introduced as an ambassador. However, he said if the individual holds an appointment from the previous government, he too will be recalled.
I am not aware that the gentleman that you referred to has been appointed as in any diplomatic position for Grenada. If he was, he would not have been appointed by this government. If he has been so appointed, he certainly would be recalled. And third, I met the gentleman last Monday evening. It was a courtesy call that he asked to pay to me. He was accompanied by another Grenadian who also was appointed as a diplomat by the prior administration. And when he made that courtesy call, he asked for a photo, and the photo was given. When I met the gentleman, I certainly was not under the impression, nor did he convey to me, that he had been appointed as any diplomat.
Senator the Honorable Gaetan Lacrette, Minister for Health, Wellness and Religious Affairs, says his administration will stay true to the mandate of ministries of health as well as ministers for health across the entire Eastern Caribbean by ensuring a high level of stewardship and leadership is given to the health sector. Speaking during Tuesday's post-cabinet briefing, he said it is particularly important at this juncture, taking into consideration the impact of the global pandemic and the imminent threat of the monkeypox virus, which has already reached the shores of some Caribbean countries.
From my ministry's perspective, we are going to ensure that we ramp up on sanitizing mandates. It is going to be very important moving forward that our population remains extremely vigilant. For those of you who are well read and for those of you who have been following regional and or international news, you know that the monkeypox virus is spread through intimate contact. So if you have a lesion or an abrasion, a cut on your skin, and you have been infected with the virus, individuals who have the same an abrasion, a cut or a lesion on their skin, and fluid is being secreted from both of you, and you come into contact, the virus can be transmitted as a result. I want to ensure you that the monkeypox virus is symptomatic, so as a result, symptoms can be treated. As it relates to the COVID-19 strain, we want our population to ensure that you remain vigilant.
The health minister says while there is no need for panic at this time, his ministry will ensure that the public is kept well informed going forward.
As it stands, we want you to ensure that wherever you are going to get your information from, that if you do not hear from us at the Grenada Information Service or from the Ministry of Health website, if we do not do a conference or a press briefing to inform you as it relates to what is taking place, please ensure that your information is from credible health organizations or institutions across the Caribbean like CAFA, CDMA, etc., and other organizations where you're going to find credible information. So as it relates to hysteria, any information that does not come from your institution or organization of health, please ignore it for now as false information.
Responding to questions from members of the media, Senator Lacrette gave an update on the 2 suspected cases of monkeypox on the island, as well as the Ministry of Health's ability to perform tests for the virus.
At the moment, there are no other suspected cases. I believe that we're waiting on one other sample to return from CAFA, and we are trusting that that sample returns negative as well. But the 2 suspected cases, as you correctly stated, return negative, and we are grateful about that. We do have tests on the island, so whenever we have any wind that there is a suspected case, we will definitely be able to test effectively. In fact, we have ramped up human resource personnel in our laboratory so that we're able to have the manpower to do so. And also per adventure that we have any increased amount of cases on the island, we have the manpower to test and we have the tests on the island.
Grenadians are encouraged to be responsible and vigilant during the spice mass season so as to avoid outbreaks of the many viruses that are lurking around. Improved air service between Grenada and Carriacou from August 1st with flights 5 days per week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday and Sunday. An air services contract was signed between the previous administration and SVG Air on June 9th. The flights will be subsidized by the government for the Carriacou-Grenada leg. Prime Minister Honorable Deacon Mitchell says his government sees the benefits of citizens accessing air services between mainland and the sister isles of Carriacou, and such cabinet has agreed to proceed with the agreement.
We really are pleased to announce that we are proceeding with this. We think certainly it will help our citizens in Carriacou. It will help economic activity between Grenada and Carriacou, and critically as well for some of the basic services that are needed, such as persons who are ill, who need medical services in Grenada. This obviously is required in order to ensure that they can travel relatively effectively between Carriacou and Grenada. So that should commence on the 1st of August. It in effect means that the government is subsidizing the cost of the travel. That is part of the reason why the agreement had to take place between the government and the airlines. The agreement contemplates the use of 2 aircrafts, a Twin Otter aircraft as well, and it also contemplates service starting from St. Vincent, coming to Carriacou, heading to Grenada, and then Grenada, Carriacou, St. Vincent.
Government will also continue negotiations with the United Kingdom to increase weekly flights to Grenada to 3 days. Currently, flights are coming to Grenada twice per week. Honorable Deacon Mitchell says Cabinet has also decided to give the Grenada Tourism Authority the nod to proceed with negotiations with British Airways to ensure that flights extend beyond the current agreement, which concludes on December 31st, 2022.
The current agreement expires on the 31st of December 2022. That agreement provides for 2 flights per week to Grenada. The new agreement that is being negotiated, we're hoping to up the flights to 3. We think our stakeholders in the tourism industry, particularly our hoteliers, as well as Grenadians in the UK diaspora in particular, I think will be happy if we can in fact come to terms with the British Airways. So we are hoping that we can negotiate this agreement and conclude it swiftly, so that come the winter season for 2023, that airlift between Grenada and the UK market is secured.
This is the National Report. The news will continue after the break.
One magical night, 7 distinguished contestants vying for 1 crown on 1 stage. The Spice Mass Corporation presents Majestic Wednesday on July 27th at the Spice Basket from 8 p.m. Come witness a majestic evening with colorful costumes, exquisite evening gowns, diverse talents, poise, and elegance. 7 delegates will represent their parishes to compete for the title of Miss Spice Mass 2022. Miss St. John, Aaliyah Charles, Miss St. David, Tamara Mitchell, Miss St. Mark, Junisha Hostin, Miss St. Patrick, Rohanda John, Miss St. Andrew, Shante John, Miss St. George, Risa McIntosh, and Miss Carriacou and Pity Martinique, Kimlan Phillip. Admission only $50 more on the day. The beauty of our Spice Island ladies will shine on Majestic Wednesday, July 27th from 8 p.m. at the Spice Basket. See you there.
Welcome back. Households and micro, small and medium-sized enterprises in Grenada who are vulnerable to climate-related risks can benefit from a concessionary loan being offered by the Grenada Development Bank as the service provider of the Enhanced Direct Access project. We hear more in this story from the bank's communication officer, Chriselle Benjamin Jerome.
The Grenada Development Bank commences implementation of Output 4 of the Enhanced Direct Access project, currently being piloted in 3 Eastern Caribbean islands, which aims at building climate change resilience within privately owned buildings, specifically homes and MSMEs, through loan financing at an interest rate of 2% and other concessionary terms. Natasha Joseph, GDB's Business Support and Development Officer, outlines the scope of the project.
So what it looks at is a series of interventions that builds the resilience of these properties. And we're looking at things like renewable energy and energy efficiency. We're also looking at vector control, structural adjustment in terms of roofing. But what it seeks to do is to ensure that these properties can withstand natural disaster and adverse climate impacts. One of the other components that the project looks to address is erosion and flood control. And if you look behind me, this here is a perfect example when we speak about flood control. And it's looking at, as it relates to properties, you can look at retaining walls, you can look at drainage, to control runoff of water, etc. So this particular output within the project that the GDB is implementing really and truly seeks to give property owners comfort in the event of a disaster, that their properties are secure.
Ms. Joseph explains that the project, which is very timely considering we are in the hurricane season, targets the vulnerable pockets of the population, and though it prioritizes some audiences, does not exclude any.
The project specifically targets vulnerable households and MSMEs. Vulnerability is defined whether it's climate vulnerability, income vulnerability, or financial vulnerability, or even social vulnerability. So the project seems to protect individuals and their properties in the event of disasters, as the case may be. When we look at vulnerability in terms of households, the project prioritizes single-parent households, households of persons with disability, and they also look like a few priority sectors within the population as it relates to emergency first responders, as the case may be. So these are particularly designated, but there's no exclusion in terms of the list of persons who can qualify.
She further clarified some of the areas that can be financed by the concessionary loan facility.
If you're living close to a river, or you have property close to a river or waterway, or you're living on a hillside, or you've already experienced land slippage, surrounding your home, you may have been considering storage tanks for water, or you may have even been thinking about building a retaining wall or drainage on your property. This particular financing instrument is for you.
The EDA project is financed by the Green Climate Fund and is being implemented by the Government of Grenada through the Ministry of Finance and the Ministry of Climate Resilience. For Grenada Development Bank, I am Chriselle Benjamin Jerome.
Thank you, Chriselle. Finally, in the news, nurses and other health practitioners at the General Hospital and other primary healthcare centers are engaged in a 10-day training on foot care and amputation prevention. This forms part of a collaborative effort between the Pan American Health Organization and the Ministry of Health to address the spiraling number of foot cases which lead to amputation due to diabetes. The training, which is both practical and theoretical, will focus on wound management, diabetes complication, nutrition, and basic foot care practices. Chief Facilitator Owen Bernard says there needs to be a paradigm shift in the way healthcare workers approach foot care, especially with people living with diabetes. He emphasized the significance of nutrition and other preventative measures that must be taken to avoid the worst-case scenario of amputation.
It is easy to send somebody to Harvard to get a surgeon to chop somebody's foot off. Okay, needed to be done. At the end of the day, we need to improve the quality of life of that individual. But that amputation, the need for it, where did it start? That person comes in with his foot is in a terrible state. It starts somewhere. And that's where we need to focus, to prevent that. And I realize that at primary care level, the care the intention is there, but it's not being done. And I realize the community takes, I got the inspiration from those communities because they're the community, closer to the baby. So realize you need to develop a course that deals with the basic, so-called basic.
Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Health with responsibility for strategic and operational management, Naomi Jeremiah, said primary health care is critical to lower the statistics of amputation.
We know in Grenada that a number of diabetes cases have been on the rise, and many amputations also on the rise based on the statistics that we have received. Nevertheless, we are here. We know that primary health care is key in curbing the number, the statistics, and the amount of wound care patients that we have to attend to on a daily basis. It's very challenging at times for the persons who are suffering with diabetes and how they can care. We know that at times you hear the word amputation and the patient becomes very worried and scared because they do not know what next. But I'm happy that the Ministry of Health, Wellness and Religious Affairs have seen the need to pilot with power, and I'm happy for the team from Barbados and from Dominica, who are here today to help facilitate this workshop.
That story has brought us to the end of the National Report for today, Tuesday, July 19th, 2022. Recapping the top story, Prime Minister Honorable Deacon Mitchell says his administration has not appointed any diplomat since assuming office. On behalf of the entire news team here at the Government Information Service, I am Kristen Mitchell saying thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much, Chrisanne, and the rest of the GIS News team. And now we take a look at the weather. It's been submitted by the Met Office. The weather is expected to be partly cloudy to occasionally cloudy with light showers. Tonight's minimum temperature 25 degrees Celsius and winds northeasterly to easterly at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Seas moderate with waves 4 to 6 feet in open waters. Taking a look at the weather for tomorrow, that is on, tomorrow is what? Tomorrow is Wednesday already? Today was Tuesday, right? Good. So we're talking about, for Wednesday, the weather is expected to be partly cloudy at first, becoming cloudy to overcast with evening and nighttime showers. Possible isolated thunder showers. Max temperature 30.5 degrees Celsius and a minimum 26. Winds southeasterly to southeasterly at 14 to 24 miles per hour. Seas moderate, waves 4 to 7 feet in open waters. So that's your weather report for tomorrow, God's willing as well. Now, before we wrap, let's say hello to a few people, well, quite a bit of you on YouTube. We want to say hello to E.C. Emily, to its Clovina, and to Suzanne, who's always there on YouTube. We say hello to Shimron. Shimron, blessings to you. And of course, again, we want you to know that we appreciate all that you have done in the short space of time that we have seen you on YouTube promoting our channel. We want to say thank you to you. All right. And as well, we want to say hello to everyone else, basically. Rayburn and Jean and Fitzroy and all of you who are there on Bantis, AM, Ami. I don't even know how to pronounce that word or that name. Ameripat. I hope that's how you pronounce it. Well, hello to you. And to those of you who are on Facebook, we see we have quite a bit of you there. We want to say hello to you, Vintress, Delaris, Shum, Rolanda, Zaka, Veronica, Velma. Veronica, you didn't get the live notification? I don't know why you guys are not getting the notification. I don't know. I really don't know. I'll have to look into that because I see that a lot of people are complaining that they are not. You know, from time to time, Facebook does all kind of stuff and it affects, sorry. And that is why I ask people to share the program, because even when you don't get a notification, at least when you share, you give other people. So once you share, then others get a notification from you. So that's basically why I ask people to share. So I hope that you understand that, and I would like to kindly ask you to so do. So for the people who don't get notification, then once you share, then they get a notification from you saying that the Mikey Live program is live. All right, so that's what I've been trying to explain. Even when people don't get a notification, once you share it, then they will. All right, so Joycelyn and Della and Michelle and Celine and you guys, please go ahead and share if you have not yet done so. All right, Bermuda and Claire and the others and Shaquille, blessings to you guys. All right. So I'm hoping to be back with you guys tomorrow again, Angel. And so let's hope that God is going to continue to bless you, give you long life, health, and strength. So I see Shaquille has shared. So thank you very much, Shaquille. Kireen shared as well, and Griffith. Blessings, and Margaret and Deslin. So, and Clayton. So all the sharers, and Lynette, all the sharers on the business, we're saying thank you very much, and we appreciate that. And for those of you who are still here, we again would like to appeal to you, if you have not yet done so, please go ahead and share the business. Folks, that's where we're going to pull the curtains down on things for tonight to say God bless you and your family. May God bless your friends as well. And until we meet again, God bless you. Let's go. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, we all say, Ja! No! Blessings.